Hello, welcome back. This is our last installment of our journey through chapter one. Now we're going to take a look at the modern age of microbiology. So we took our brief-ish history all the way from Leeuwenhoek and seeing the first microbe in the mid to late 1600s. And now we're going to be taking a look at what microbiologists are working on now in the current age with our modern technology and what our goals are now that we've kind of answered all of those other questions in the golden age of microbiology. So the first topic that's brought up in this section is microbial metabolism, biochemistry stuff. So this is just a picture showing, it's kind of making metabolic pathways in the cell look like a subway station, which is kind of cool, kind of a good visual, but there's a lot of chemical reactions. It's kind of the visual I'm trying to get you to see. So when we can study these types of processes in a bacteria, that can help us learn about what happens in our cells, because a lot of those chemical reactions that bacteria do, we do also. And it's really a lot easier to study those in a bacteria than it is to study them in human tissues and human cells. So we want to understand these chemical reactions, this biochemistry, this metabolism, which will give us greater knowledge about our cells or plants or fungi or animals or other things that we as a scientific community are trying to learn. So some practical applications of biochemical research and microbial metabolism is we can do better designing of herbicides and pesticides to reduce the impacts on the environment and to maintain healthy crops. We can help to better diagnose illnesses. We can treat metabolic illnesses like phenylketonuria, PKU. You may have heard that before, or better designer drugs like vaccines or treatments for these new and emerging diseases like COVID-19 that we have it's brand new to the human population. We don't have a vaccine and we don't have any treatments, but we got to figure that out, and understanding how these pathways work, how biochemistry works, will help us reach those goals. Okay. The next question that we are working on in the microbiology world is, how do genes work? The genetic information that codes for a lot of those enzymes and stuff that you study in the biochemistry section, we got to figure that out. And again, another cool connection between bacteria and humans is we have a lot of similarities in how our DNA is, how our genes are expressed, how our enzymes are made, how our proteins are made. So the more that we study bacteria, the better we can understand our own genetics, and sometimes maybe even manipulate those, practice manipulating with bacteria, and see if we can do that with eukaryotic genomes. The next is microbes in the environment. So we are, there is a crisis with our globe right now, not only with climate change, but with pollution and impacts that humans have made on the environment. And we need to take advantage of the bacteria that have been here for millennia, millions of years, maybe billions of years. I don't know when the first bacteria showed up, but they are a huge part of how healthy ecosystems work. So understanding that and not destroying our natural bacteria is going to be really important for maintaining a healthy planet. And then lastly, how do we defend against disease? We prevent it. We figured out what caused disease, then we prevented getting sick. And now can we defend against disease so it's not even a problem anymore? So we have antibiotics, which are good, but we're having a problem with those. That's chapter 10, so stay tuned for that one. Vaccines, which can help prevent and defend against disease. Or maybe a lot of people are working on manipulating our own immune system using our built-in killer T cells, natural killer cells, to program them with some of that recombinant DNA technology from the genetics part and inserting them back into our body to go and fight infections and cancers. It's all really fantastic. So that's some of the topics that are being covered in our modern day microbiological labs, biochemistry labs, trying to answer some of those questions. All right, that's it. That was a short little lesson. So that was our chapter 1. I hope you enjoy it. Send questions, come to Zoom office hours, and I will see you next time for our discussion on chapter 3. Okay, bye.